Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to unbox the brand new ULTRAVIEW Slider 2. So I'm actually very excited about this sight. I think they had some major upgrades to this thing this year. Before we get into it, just a reminder, like, subscribe, share this to a buddy, comment, all those types of things. The engagement honestly really does help grow the channel, and I'm grateful. So drop a comment if you have basically any specific questions about this thing. This is going to be an unboxing and kind of an overview. I'm probably going to do a second video of like a full review and everything once I start shooting it, how to sight it in, those types of things. But let's get into it, see what's all different about the UV Slider 2 versus the... So I did shoot the first one for the past 2 years, so I got a lot of experience with it. It should be pretty awesome. Let's get into it. Similar to last year, we got this very nice box, probably same, or we got definitely a nice carry case again, a little bit different, but I kept mine in my case whenever I was traveling. So inside the box says scan for instructions and warnings, so I'm assuming that's just how to sight in, anything like that. So good little tip to not throw your box away, and honestly it's kind of a nice box if you, I don't know, collect things or need a box to throw little stuff in. All right, time for the reveal. This is the Picatinny rail mount version. This thing is pretty awesome. So similar to last year, it comes in 2 pieces. So this is a triple stack version. So this is a 3 vertical pin option. So you basically got your housing system here, and then this is your actual mount that goes on the bow. So this whole thing is definitely seems to be a lot slimmer and smaller than the first generation. Just comparing kind of side by side. Definitely feels a lot lighter too. I know it's the pick mount, but even side by side, this seems to be a lot lighter and a lot smaller, which is kind of nice. So let's put this thing together and see what it looks like. All right, I would assume this works just the same as last year. Roll this on, boom, and she's on there. Roll it on to the bottom and you're good to go. And this thing is very, very nice. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty fired up about this. One giant different feature that they included this year is like a home option. Some people call it different things, but basically it's this little stopper right here that, say your top pin is gonna be 20 yards. It's a little option, and this stop basically stops it at 20 yards. So like you can adjust that way. If you're in a hunting scenario and say the deer is at 35, you got it rolled down and you have the single pin option, the deer rolls in, you can basically just roll this up real quick to your home position, which would be at 20 yards, and you're good to go. So that's a very nice feature. And similar to last year, they have your first and second access adjustments right here, and your third is somewhere right there. Your third is right there. Last year, I think they were both on the outside, which honestly doesn't make a difference. You're doing all this in the tuning phases anyways, but I'm very impressed with the upgrades on this thing. It's very nice. This thing is pretty sick though. I'm probably gonna have to shoot this myself. So other really nice features, some of them are the same as the original ULTRAVIEW Slider, but something I always highlight is dual sight tapes. So you got an outside tape. They already have a sighting in tape on it, or like a sight tape on here for sighting in, and then an inside tape. And basically you have your pin markers here, and I'll probably do a video about how to sight this in, because it is a slightly different, I guess, process compared to most sights out there. So I'll probably do that as a separate video, but it is super nice having a sight tape on the inside and outside. So for guys like me, which kind of there is a very large amount that run different arrows. I run a hunting arrow setup, and then I run basically everything else arrow setup. My expensive arrows are for hunting, my cheap arrows are for tack, indoor archery league, like those types of things where I don't care if I lose one or break one or whatever. So it's nice to have that way I don't have to like completely re-sight in all the time and lose everything. So the main big change is to the scope housing itself this year. So they changed a lot. It's a lot smaller, not in diameter, but it kind of just like profile. and they removed the sight light basically from it, so it's available separately. That thing is also charged, like rechargeable. Instead of 5 batteries, it's actually just like a USB-C, I guess. But I don't know, I really like this whole profile. I think that it's gonna let light in low light conditions a lot better with the groove being cut out here. I think you're gonna get a little bit more sunlight entering at your pins. And honestly, I'm not sure. They definitely changed it up out here big time. I think that was mostly just to drop weight. And I mean, I just think they kind of simplified everything to already one of the most simple sights out there. I'm pretty fired up about this thing actually. So it's really nice. I'm actually very impressed. It is super lightweight. So the guys that are concerned about ounces, this might be the way you want to go for a sight that's super light, does it all, can handle anything. Obviously I haven't used it yet, but first impressions, I think this is probably the best sight in the market. All right, just want to talk about some other configurations, basically all the options that this thing comes with. So obviously right, left-handed. So you got, this comes in this Picatinny mount, obviously. Comes in your basic like direct mount that every sight comes in, and it also comes in the Matthews bridge lock. And then for pin configuration, so ideally if you're undecided, similar to any other ULTRAVIEW scope, I would assume that it's just this set screw, and then there's probably an internal set screw, but essentially these cartridges do pull in and out, so you can change your pin configuration in the future if you want to change it. But you can get it in 1 vertical pin, 3 vertical pin like this, a 3 horizontal pin, or a 5 horizontal pin. So those are your configuration options, and then basically every single mounting option there is as well. I want to talk accessories. First, I want to cover what it comes with. Basically, it comes with a little bit of hardware, just Allen wrenches, extra sight bubbles, screws, stuff like that. Your basics, comes with a manual, comes with all your paper sight tapes, and then available for like additional money. Obviously, this is all stuff you can add on. They do make metal sight tapes, so you don't have to use paper ones, which is really nice. Basically, you would kind of have to know what one you would need, because I think, let me double check here, I think it only comes in like 3 or 4 packs, like maybe it's like 10 packs. I think it's 5 packs. The metal sight tapes come in 5 packs, 5 tape increments, like 1 to 5, 5 to 10, 15, 20, etc. So you'd kind of know what sight tape you're going to need, so that kind of sucks a little bit, but not the end of the world. You can get a light cartridge, as I mentioned earlier, that would go on top here for guys that shoot indoor or just need that extra light. You can get different vis rings. So this white piece right here is what they call a vis ring. So you can get different colors, etc., stuff like that. As I also mentioned, you can get different cartridges for different pin configurations. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is kind of replacement stuff. I guess they do make a windage spacer for guys that might need a little bit more windage adjustment. I'm extremely impressed with this thing. If you guys do have any comments or I guess questions, drop them in the comments. So if you guys have questions or anything, let me know. I can go in a deeper dive, probably in my next video on this thing, about actually sighting it in, how to do that, and that whole process. I'm going to cover, honestly, that's a video you're going to want to watch, because I'm probably going to show exactly how to set first and second axis, third axis, and then exactly the process of sighting this thing to where you're good from 0 to 100 plus. So should be pretty awesome. But I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what you need to know from me on this thing. I'm very impressed. I'm excited to shoot this thing. If you're thinking about dropping the money on a sight that you're going to be happy with, actually use for a long time, I think this is it. And I don't have any affiliation with ULTRAVIEW. I carry pretty much every single sight in my store. So no, thanks for watching, guys.